Dolly Girly, and welcome to another video. Okay, so as you guys can see by the title, I know that I am a little bit late to reviewing this doll. I know she came out a while ago and that you guys actually saw me unbox her for my birthday video that also was a while ago, and I just never got around to opening her, but I'm finally gonna take a look at her and open her because I'm tired of her being in the box. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alright, so that doll is Monster High Creeproduction Frankie Stein. I'm so excited to finally get her out. She looks amazing. And yeah, in case you guys didn't know, I am actually a huge Monster High fan and have been since they came out in 2010. But at that time, I was little and dependent on my parents' money for them to get me the dolls I wanted, and we didn't have that kind of disposable income to just buy every single new Monster High doll that came out. So we would typically get the budget versions of the dolls, except for Frankie. I remember for some reason my mom, I guess, was able to buy us, and I say us because me and my sister at the time, we both would buy Monster High dolls. But anyway, she was able to buy us the Sweet 1600 Frankie Stein. So that's the Frankie that I had for a long time until this one came out. So I've never actually owned her in her first wave signature outfit. So whenever she came out, I actually skipped her that first round for some reason because I was like, oh, I'll just keep the one I already have since my childhood. But the second time around, I was like, no, I have to have her. This is my chance, my last chance. So I did end up buying her, and I did pay full price, which at the time I believe was $25. But yes, I am so glad to finally have her in her signature outfit, like I said. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at her in the box first. Here's a close look at Frankie inside her box, and I'm so glad that they replicated the box to look almost exactly like they used to look like when they first came out. Through the big window, you can see Frankie and all her accessories, as well as where it says that it is a Boo-Original Creeproduction, meaning it's a reproduction of the original doll that came out in 2010. There's Frankie Stein's name and her monster parent and her Skelett logo on the bottom right corner, as well as some graphic designs. And then if you move to the left corner, you can see a blue cassette tape that says K-Blood Mix, the Mattel logo, and then the Monster High logo is backed by a blue plaid background that goes around to the right side of the box as well. And yeah, framing the box and on the sides of the box, you can see a lot of little graphic designs like lightning bolts and then chains at the top, as well as a little blurb there. Here's what the right side looks like with the pink Monster High logo, some blue chains and stars again, and then a small picture of Frankie on top of the Monster High Skelett logo. And the back of the box is just as stunning as the front, with so many details like the Monster High logo again at the top, a little description of the Monster High characters at the top, and then a big picture of Frankie, as well as a bio for her. And you can see her pet and the other ghouls in that wave of Creeproductions, and the barcode is on the bottom left. And in case you were wondering, here's the bottom. But yeah, as you may have noticed, the box is not square. It's a weird shape that starts off thick on one side and then narrows down to make it look like a binder, which is more apparent in the design when you lay the box on its side. But yeah, for all you inbox collectors, the box is a little over 12.5 inches tall, a little bit over 9 inches wide, a little bit over 2.5 inches on the right side, and 1.5 inches on the left side. Okay, so I'm back, and I seem to have been struggling with what I was calling the left and right sides of the box for some reason. I think it's because I was thinking of it as like facing away from me, so in that case this would be the left and this would be the right, but it wasn't facing away from me, it was facing you guys, so I don't know what the confusion was. But anyways, enough of the box. Let's finally get her out. And as you guys know, I do like to scrapbook, so I do like to keep like the images and the art from the box for that. So I will be taking her out as carefully as I can and keeping the box for that. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get her out. Okay, right quick, before we cut her free, here's what Frankie looks like displayed with just the backdrop spread out. It is really nice, actually. It's blue and black stripes with a chain going around there and like some other circles and graphic designs that pertain to Frankie's character. But yeah, she looks so good, but I want to cut her free, so let's keep cutting her out. Okay, Okay guys, so she's out and she is so beautiful, but let me show you guys her up close and everything that she comes with. Here is Frankie fresh out of the box, and as you can see, she is a mint green color because she is Frankenstein's daughter. Here is a close-up of her face and makeup. You can see that she has purple eyeshadow and heterochromia, so one eye is blue and the other is green. She has her stitches there on her right cheek, and she wears a dark red lipstick. Her hair is pulled up in a half up, half down hairstyle with a little bump there at the front, and you can see that it is black and white and straight and goes down to her knees. And as for the texture, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is saran. She comes wearing silver chain earrings with a blue skelet, and she has sculpted on neck bolts as well as some stitches on her neck, on both of her arms, and her legs as well. For her outfit, she wears a blue plaid dress that has a white collar with zigzag stitching and black mesh sleeves, and underlayer to give the skirt some poof. She also has a black and white polka dot tie that is stitched on up at the top, and on the bottom, she has a silver skelet brooch that is sewn on. Her black and silver studded belt has a lightning bolt motif on the right, and it is stitched on her dress with those chains there. It snaps closed in the back, and her dress velcros in the back. For her accessories, she comes wearing this silver and blue bracelet that is rubber banded on, and also comes with a red, black, and silver handbag. It has painted details all the way around, and it does not open, but is a very nice sculpt. And lastly, her shoes are black and white striped Mary Jane style heels. I couldn't get Frankie to balance and stand on her own without her stand, so I'm leaning her against the wall, and without her stand, she stands a little under 11 inches and at 11 inches while clipped onto her stand. She has 11 points of articulation with rotation at the head, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, and knee. And for older Monster High dolls, you were able to take out their arms at the elbow, but for some reason, I don't know if mine is just too stiff or if the new ones can't do that, but I am not going to take out her arm because I'm having to pull too hard for it to come out, so I don't want to risk breaking her, but you are able to still remove the wrist, and that was a bit easier for me to do, so I'm going to be doing that if I want to take off her dress and put on another one, and you can just put it right back in there. And also, I've been seeing other people say they have this issue with their Creeproductions too, but mine can't really put her arms all the way down. They just go back up for some reason. They are kind of stiff underneath her armpits, so it's very hard to put her hands down flat, and I've seen people just put them in boiling water to soften up the plastic and then push their arms down, which it sucks that they even have this problem, but yeah, that's just how mine came out, so I did want to point that out. Anyways though, besides her bag, here are the other things that she comes with. She comes with a 3-piece silver stand, and the base is really nice. It has Monster High engraved on it, as well as some other really cool details in the sculpt. A silver skelet brush that says Monster High on the handle. Her pet Franken puppy Watson that also has heterochromia like Frankie actually. And you can see a painted on black and silver necklace, silver spikes, and silver chrome wings, as well as other painted details that make it look like he's stitched together, which is so cute. And lastly, also like the original Frankie, she comes with her diary that looks like a composition notebook and actually has entries in it, and her bio on the back. So yeah, here is Frankie with all her included accessories. Alright, so I'm back, and I can honestly say that she is such a gorgeous doll, and I may be a little biased and slightly blinded by nostalgia, but I think that her design is just exquisite. Like, everything is just so well thought out and just so fashionable too. Like, what a great take on the daughter of Frankenstein that was fashionable and edgy and unique at the time, and honestly still holds up to this day. And Frankie's character herself still holds up to this day, like her personality, and honestly she's one of my favorites. That may be a little bit basic, but I just loved her, and especially in the webisodes and in the movies, how she was always like trying her hardest to not only just fit in and like learn about herself and like her place in the world, I guess, but also how she was always fighting for what she believed in and fighting against injustices and what was wrong. I think like her activism is so overlooked, and she was so cool for that. Like I really admire her, and I think she's such a good role model in the movies and webisodes, honestly. Like it was never a Monster High movie without Frankie going off like on a little motivational, empowering speech, and I love her for that. And of course she was always there for her friends, and you can't overlook her style. I mean, she is an icon. Also, somewhat related side note, I know her parents are Frankenstein's monster and his bride, and I haven't seen the new Guillermo Del Toro's Frankenstein movie yet, the one that's out on Netflix. I've seen people say that it looks really good, and everything that I've seen about it looks really good. I know that it even won an Oscar for costume design, I believe, and I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it because I want to read the book first. Especially since Frankenstein the book is a classic in literature, and I tried reading it I think in maybe middle school, but obviously my reading level wasn't as advanced to comprehend Frankenstein, so I didn't get through maybe even the first chapter. But now that I'm older, I want to try and read it. So yeah, another little side note, as you guys can see a little bit by my background, I have a bookshelf and I love to read, so I told myself that I have to read the book first before I see the movie, and here is the book that I ended up buying myself. It's the Mina Lima version of Frankenstein, and it looks beautiful, but I just haven't gotten around to reading it, and I can't watch the movie before I read the book, so that's on my bucket list for sure. But anyways, back to Frankie. And yeah, I'm just glad that Mattel reproduced these dolls to begin with and gave older fans or newer fans the chance to buy these dolls again, especially since the authentic vintage dolls are so overpriced in the secondhand market and honestly come with a bunch of problems. Like the older Monster High dolls used a glue to keep their hair in their head, and that glue over time would seep out and just cause the hair to be all sticky, and in some cases turn the vinyl of the doll's face yellow, and it was just not a good problem to deal with. And also the joints over time would become so loose, and then some would be missing limbs. Like it's just a whole ordeal to try to get them secondhand at a good price, especially, and complete. So yeah, I'm just so grateful that they released them again and I got the chance to get her, and yeah, I love her. And so like I said, since I only had the Sweet 1600 version of Frankie, I don't have the original Frankie to provide you guys with a comparison, but I've seen people post like side by sides on Instagram, and she's a pretty exact Creeproduction, so definitely worth it. But unfortunately, like I said, this video is coming out like a year later since I got her, so she's not available for you guys to buy anymore, so I do apologize. But yes, I think that she is amazing and I'm glad I got her. But yeah, let me know, what do you guys think of her? Do you think that she holds up to her original release, or do you think that there's something that could have been improved on this version? Let me know. And which version did you guys have? Did you guys have her when she originally came out, or were you able to purchase this one? Let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post another video. If you like Monster High, you're in luck because I have all the Monster High Creeproductions that have been coming out recently, so those reviews will be coming soon, hopefully. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, dollies!